fun.
Yeah. Welcome to the vlog, guys. We have a special guest today, all the way from Birmingham, UK.
What's up, beautiful people?
So, guys, yeah, we just been, Loz is from UK, we're from the UK, and we just thought, well, since we're coming out of lockdown and stuff, we might as well meet up and have a little chat.
Up.
And
Put
you
the
never
world
know.
to rights.
Maybe have some little Philippines plans, maybe? You never know. You never know.
Maybe that might have to be done soon. Well, when we're allowed. Could be a little while, right?
Right, guys, we're going to have a little chat and stuff now, and we'll get back to you very soon. Back at home now, guys. Had a long little chat with old Loz, didn't we?
We actually was there for about 3.5 hours.
Was we? That long?
Yep, we went at about 1 and we left at about 4.
So for anyone who doesn't know Loz we met up with, is it 2 years ago now?
No, I think it was last year.
Last year?
2019. But we've been watching each other's videos and like talking online for quite a while. And Loz has been like traveling the Philippines for quite a little while as well, and we always just missed each other, didn't we? We always were just not in the same place at the same time or at the same time of year or whatever it was. We just always missed each other, didn't we?
So we had a little catch up today. So if any of you guys have not watched any of his videos already, we'll put a little link in the description and it'll probably ping up along the bottom of the screen now.
We also done an absolutely fantastic day out with Loz last year.
Yes.
It was right at the very end of our trip. We were all leaving round about the same time. I can't remember whether he left a couple of weeks before or after us, but basically we managed to come together and do one of the most humbling and greatest days out that we have ever had in the Philippines. And we went to visit North Cemetery in Manila and got to know the people who lived in the graveyard and how they live, and it was very, very inspiring because we met some incredible people who were really trying to change their circumstances, and it was just what we had in our mind about that day and then the reality of that day were so far apart, weren't they?
It was a wicked day.
So we done that with Loz, and we will also link that so that if you want to watch our version, because we all done the same thing, but Loz filmed it and we filmed it, and it's two kind of very similar stories, edited different. So if you want to see the same thing, different styles, you can watch them. They'll all be in the description.
But yeah, we just having a good old chat about like our problems during the lockdown, because obviously although we do a lot of like videos on YouTube and stuff, life might seem very rosy and stuff like that, but we all still have our own problems, same as you guys do. So we was having a good old chat about the stuff that he had going on at home. Personal things and stuff, and me in particular as well. I have my own issues going on, quite extensive issues by the way. But yeah, we had our own, and Cody's had her own problems and stuff like that. So we was having a good old chat.
It's been difficult, isn't it? But it's nice to actually like be reminded. I think the important thing about talking about it is you're reminded that you're not the only person going through difficult times and stuff. So it kind of makes you feel less alone and less like you're isolated from people. So it's nice to get it off your chest sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, man. And the weather was really good. Not quite Filipino weather, but
actually,
not far
I'll
off.
have you know, it was 31 degrees
31
today.
degrees.
31 degrees. So it is Filipino weather, but it's a different type of sun and it's a different type of heat. I know that it all comes from the same sun, but it's definitely not the same. We can promise.
Filipinos probably watching this saying 31. That's cold. Malamig.
No, it's not.
They'll say it's cold.
It was
But
nice
yeah, we had
day.
a nice little time. You know, we had a little chat about like plans going forward and if we can go travelling again and when was a big one.
What our travel plans will be, will he be included? But to be fair, out of everyone that we met Loz last year, we bought our house last year, and obviously it was a massive thing. We didn't tell anyone, did we?
No.
Only people who knew were like obviously like I told my mom, and like very few people knew. We hadn't announced it, nothing. And we actually signed our contract with Loz. So we took the contract away from Ilo and we read it word for word, and then we signed it in Manila and sent it back, didn't we, before we left?
Oh, and did we see Loz that night?
And that was when we the day that we posted it was the day that we went to North Cemetery.
Oh,
so the night before we were like, shall we tell Loz about our plan, what we're about to do? And he was the first person that we actually shared that news with, because we hadn't actually signed the contract until the next day. So when we
Yeah.
did, we told him our plan, and then the next day we went out, we celebrated, we went for a couple of drinks, and like, yeah, that was, so Loz he's the first person to know, so we were like, listen, you are coming to visit our house because, you know, you knew about it before YouTube knew about it, and so we were telling him, not asking him really, weren't we?
We kind of forced Loz to come to the Philippines.
It didn't take much forcing,
Nah.
to be honest. Like,
Nah.
he loves it as much as we do. It didn't take much
Yeah.
forcing to get him to agree. We didn't really have to break his arm, or we were like, you're coming, and he was like,
Oh,
I am.
yeah, come on, let's go. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool. So next year, hopefully, I'm hoping that we can go in January. So that leads us on to another thing. So we had the whole like discussion about, you know, just life in general and problems and what we're trying to work towards and stuff like that. And
Goals
then me and you had a little chat, didn't we? Because obviously the last time I think we made a video saying what we was hoping for, we said that we wanted to go away in September, October for like 2 weeks to try and sort out the house stuff.
Yeah, that we were praying for it. We were literally
Yeah.
praying to come over at the end of this year to be able to get our keys, because that's all we want, isn't it? Is our keys.
But then the whole 2 week quarantine in Manila started last week, so
This is the second week we're going into now.
it looks very unlikely that we'll be able to come back over this year, so it'll probably be next year now. So we was just talking because originally we was planning to come over February, like to start, because we normally start our trip around February till like the end of May, sort of normally. But since we can't come over now this year, we was talking about maybe coming over in January, like the beginning of January sort of thing.
Which will give us a little bit of time to be able to sort our house before
Yeah.
we obviously do any travelling, because if we came over in January, then obviously what that would mean is we get our keys, but before we get our keys, we basically have to inspect the house, make sure that it's up to our standards, that we're happy with everything, because obviously if we get the keys and then they hand them over and then we find the tiles aren't straight, or the water goes to the opposite end of the room
Someone
instead
said
of
in
the
the
drain,
comments. Someone
or-
said in the comments, you got to
Yeah.
make sure you throw some water in the shower cubicle,
And then it
make
goes
sure it
down
goes
to
the
the
right
drain.
way, right?
So, you know, if none of these things happen and we've already got the keys, we have to pay for it to be repaired itself. Whereas, obviously, if we check it first, then, you know, when they rectify it, we don't pay for that. So it gives us the opportunity to do that. But also, we need to decorate. And
We
I
do.
am so excited to do that. We're not really looking at, you know, putting a couple of bits in and having it basic, bare minimum. We really want to make it homey, don't we? So that when
Try and
we're
get as much as we like. 'Cause it's going to be expensive, right? So we kind
gonna
of
do as much as we can,
Yeah.
like as quick as we can. Obviously, we're not gonna go in and be able to do the whole house there and then, but we're not looking to basically just put a bed and a couch in and then have it like that for
I mean,
the
we've
next
got to
5
get somewhere
years.
for Loz to sleep, right?
So it's a case of we need a couple of weeks to be able to shop around, look at what we want, make sure that everything kind of fits our budget. We're looking at, you know, what kind of storage we'll need, because there isn't much storage within the house, and all of these little things that haven't really been things that you have to think of before when you travel. And, you know, we'll be using it as a base like a lot, and when we're not using it as a base to travel, we will be coming back over for holidays. Like, I'll definitely be coming back over with my mum, and, you know, introducing them to the country, because my mum, obviously I've mentioned before, is disabled, so it's really difficult to find places that she can go to with her mobility, and Ilo is perfect. We said it from the start, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we'll definitely be coming over with my mum, and, you know, after our travel trips and stuff. So we've got a lot to do.
A lot of discussions today, and it was nice doing it with Loz as well, because he does the same sort of stuff as us. Goes to like
Same places.
like the same like off the beaten path.
He's got the same mindset. I think that's what it is. It doesn't really matter what we spoke about, does it? Because we have a similar mindset, and so it's easy to
Same sort of
to just
values.
talk about anything.
Yeah, like we just get on really well. So he's probably our best friend, like travel purposes.
Aww.
Any, he's the
Gonna
only.
be all made up with that in your laws. But in terms of travel friends that we've ever made, I would definitely say so. I actually think, like, out of everyone that we've ever met in the travel community, and we've met some really great people, but in terms of who you are, your values, like your morals, your kind of understanding of travel, the way you think, the way you appreciate and respect the country, the culture, everything under that umbrella. We're all quite similar, aren't we? I feel, and so it just allows for a better friendship and a closer kind of like friendship connection, because you don't have to try and figure out like, is this how they think, or is that how they think, or is YouTube more important, or is traveling more important? There's none of that. It's just
click.
Yeah, it works. It's a good friendship.
We're all on the same wavelength, so that was nice. And I don't even class Kai in that category because he's more like a brother to us now.
Kai's family.
He's like a brother now, isn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just having a little chat and stuff, catching up, enjoying the sunshine. We don't get much of it here in England, although we've had a
good
days.
lockdown has been good to us in terms of weather. We've had
some good weather. So obviously, yeah, that went pretty well. So there's some like rough sketches of ideas. Nothing concrete though, but hopefully we can just come over in January, because also, so what I was saying about coming over in January, my whole thing was, obviously Cody wanted to like deck out the house and go shopping and stuff, and my thing was, I don't want to like the whole trip to be going shopping and kitting out the house, because I like traveling, I like seeing all the waterfalls and stuff, right? But if we go in January, then that gives us the extra 5-6 weeks extra to go and do the house stuff and still have our time that we would normally have to like go and travel and stuff. So that was what I was thinking. That was what we was thinking, wasn't it? Plus we get extra 6 weeks. I'll never turn that down.
Like next year is a big year. Like we've actually had quite a lot of conversations, and we're not really gonna like go into our ideas, because if they don't work, it's gonna be really sad and people will be expecting it. But like next year I'm 30, and then hopefully like we move into our house, and it'll be the first year of travel after lockdown, and so next year is like got quite a big like expectation, hasn't it? And like there's quite a lot of
there's a lot of ideas.
Yeah,
there's a lot of ideas floating around, because nothing concrete, but just ideas, because obviously
ideas, not plans.
Like it's just more like goals as well.
We can't plan at the moment.
Nah,
we
but
can't.
Obviously Philippines is a big part of our life as well, so we're just like trying to work on ways that make it sustainable for us to come over constantly and have a good grip on the country, as in
have a
strong
lifestyle,
tie.
isn't it? It's about trying to balance what we want to do versus what we have to do, and make it so that it works for us and it works for the people around us that are in our life, and also in terms of work and finances and seeing people that we care about. And obviously like there's a lot of different factors that you kind of have to take into consideration, isn't there? So it's about making your lifestyle fit what you want, and when they come together it's going to be really, really amazing. And I think that we can bring it together.
I think we can.
I think we can.
Because obviously another big thing is like, obviously what we're looking at trying to do is like, instead of doing it here where it's hard and everything's expensive, as you guys all know, Europe in general is just a lot of money, right? So we're able to like, instead of doing it here with all the added stress, we can try and maybe put that into the Philippines and maybe have it there.
And by that he means like that lifestyle, that like settled lifestyle,
like really make it a home, because obviously we've got our condo now, so that is like home, but have like all the foundations as well around, because we've already explained that we're always going to come back to the UK to work, to make some money, and then come back to the Philippines. But obviously you want to be able to make it more guaranteed, I suppose, maybe.
Sustainable.
That's
the right
sustainable.
Word. Sustainable, so that it's not like, oh my god, we have to do this now because oh my god, we haven't got this. And where it's stress, if we can set ourselves up where everything just works, and it works like clockwork, it doesn't really mean you have to do anything. Like, I have to go home on this day, I have to go back to the Philippines on this day, I have to be.
That's what we want.
That's not what we want. We don't want the have to do things. We want, okay, well, we've been here for this amount of time, shall we go home and do this? And then we've been at home for this amount of time, okay, shall we go here and do that? And we want it to just work, and that's kind of what we've used lockdown to, one, plan, talk about ideas, put things into like motion to kind of start them off. And a lockdown's been hard, but it's actually been quite productive at the same time, hasn't it? Like we've kind of figured out
what you want
or what we don't want.
Yeah, that's probably more the thing as well. And I think Loz was doing the same as well. He's probably realised what
I think a lot of people are
everyone,
as well.
I suppose everyone,
it's been the same for everyone. Like my mum always said to me, you never have to figure out what you want, because if you figure out what you don't want, then and avoid it, then you kind of steer in the right direction and figure out what you do want. And it's worked pretty good for me through the years. So
it was good seeing him again, though.
It was good seeing Loz.
He's grown his hair.
He looks good. He looks really good, doesn't he?
He does,
looks really good. And I like the long hair. I think the long hair should stay. It suits exactly who he is. I think like his character, and like I really like the long hair, so don't chop it off.
But yeah, guys, that was just like a little roundup really of today.
Remember, we are at home, so all our travel videos that you see, and we're not there now. I see a lot of comments pop up like, oh my god, are you in Vegan? Oh my god, are you in Bataan? Oh my god, are you... We're not. Unfortunately, we're in England.
But that was from this trip.
But it was this year, yeah. It was this year before lockdown.
It would have been like February time. Yeah, because we left Goila Willow in like March, I think.
Yeah, 12th March, was it? 14th.
But yeah, that was just the gist of today, guys. Just thought we'd share that with y'all.
Yeah.
It's good seeing Loz again, of course. And hopefully we can all meet up again. Because it's funny, because we actually met Loz first time in Manila.
And then he was in London.
The next time we see Loz, the next time was in like my hometown. That was crazy.
So he was like, yeah, I'm in London. Oh, I sent him a message saying, are you in London by any chance? And he was like, I will be next week. And I was like, well, in that case, let's do something. So it was nice. It was a good day.
It was good. It was good. So yeah, we just wanted to keep you guys updated and
wish you well.
Wish you well. And hopefully your problems ain't as bad as ours, because ours are pretty bad. And I suppose we'll see you again in the next vlog.
Yeah, gotta go and check my rice.
Yeah, we're cooking food. Bye, Alan.
Adios.